So people have been asking me for a little flip through of my bullet journal to see what I've got inside this year. So I thought I would just do this quite simple video to show you. You'll notice I'm hiding behind the camera just to keep things as easy as possible. So let's start. So this is my new bullet journal. I normally get one for Christmas each year. And I've just popped my name in. It's an Archer and Olive bullet journal. I find those are the best ones because they have the nice dots, but they also have really thick, it's 160 gram paper, so when you sort of draw something out or use quite strong pens one side, it doesn't sort of show through onto the next page, so that's really nice. Let me show you my first page, and you can spot my first mistake of the bullet journal. There's always one. Whenever I set it up, well, there's more than one, there's many normally, but as soon as I make a start on working on it, I start making mistakes, and I've learned to just kind of live with it, really, just roll with it. I know these sort of plain pages tend to make everyone feel a bit intimidating and they don't want to do anything wrong, but it happens. So my mistake, I think you'll spot quite quickly. Yeah, it's completely upside down. The whole of my cover page layout is the wrong way up in the book. Isn't that fab? No, not really. So what happened was, for some reason, I don't know how I got it turned around, but I started penciling out the outline of what I wanted to do. Yeah, I had everything in, all the numbers, all the flowers all penciled out where I wanted it out. I sort of roughed out like how the quote was going to go, had it all done, and then realised the book was upside down. So I could have rubbed it all out and I could have started all again, but I'd got the sort of placement of everything actually quite nice and I was quite pleased with it. So I thought, do you know what? I'm just gonna leave it. I know maybe people will think I'm a bit crazy for doing that, but I just thought, oh, you know, it's pretty. I enjoy doing it. Yes, I might look at it occasionally, but it's not like it's a main page in the book that I'm going to be referring back to frequently because I'm going to keep writing new information in. So I'm just going to go with it. It looks fine as it is. I'm going with it. So that's what I did. So I've just popped my word of the year in here with just a little quote. So that's all I've done there. Then I've just got, I guess in bullet journal terms, is a bit of a future log. So it's just important days, mostly birthdays, school holidays, bank holidays, things like that. Just things to make a quick note of. Then I've got a page summarising my monthly themes. So each time I start a theme for a new month, I generally tend to sort of keep the pages within a sort of theme. So this is my theme for January. Not quite sure why I'm doing this. I just have seen other people. A lot of my ideas just come from following other bullet journalers on Instagram. And I just sort of pick up ideas of things, pages I quite like, but it just looks quite pretty when other people have done it and it's all filled in. So I thought I'd give that a whirl. And then I've got my goals for the year in a way. These are sort of my podcast goals. I normally do this most years. Whether or not it makes me more successful at achieving them, I don't know, but I do like colouring. You know, I've done various different methods, normally like just circles or squares to colour in, but I do quite like having the little bits to colour in. That gives me a you know, a pleased feeling. So I've taken it a bit further this time and gone a bit more elaborate and done sort of pictures. So each time I record a podcast, I can colour a little TV in, and if I record a tutorial, this was on my list for last year, even though I didn't actually really record many. I'll colour in a little crochet hook, quiet moments videos, represented with a lovely relaxing ball of yarn, and vlogmas videos going on the list for this year. Especially since I didn't get to do one last year, once I actually decided I wanted to do one, and then I couldn't do one in the end. So I think that will go on for this year. And then just a little place to put some ideas, mostly probably for tutorials or quiet moment things I might want to do. But yeah, I'm a kid and I like colouring in, so this kind of inspires me a little bit to do things. I have gone a bit more sort of creative, I suppose, a little bit more I hesitate to use the word artistic, but you know, I spent a bit more time doodling and doing some pictures and things. Didn't sort of really plan it out that way, it's just the way it went. But yeah, so it was a bit more time consuming for me this year. And obviously, you know, don't look at this and think, oh my god, bullet journals, you have to be such a good drawer. It's just, I quite liked coming up with these pictures, and I quite enjoyed spending the time and being absorbed in doing it. So that's the way I've done it. I've done this just as a bar chart other years, you know, or, you know, just literally very basic circles that I colour in. So, you know, it doesn't have to be this elaborate, but just make it what gives you pleasure. This has given me pleasure. So yeah, so this is my yarn tracker where I keep track of how much yarn I use up from stash and how much yarn I buy in. Or I could have it the other way around, but there's more balls in stash, so I'm going to use this as my used from stash, and I'll just have this as new ones coming in, because it was harder to fit yarn balls into this particular picture. But I'm hoping I won't buy so much yarn this year as I use. That's always the goal. Mostly it's about sort of, well, it's fairly even, to be honest with you. But last year I streaked ahead with my using out of stash, and I bought much less than I normally would, and I think it's because most of the yarn shows were cancelled basically. So I'm thinking certainly in the start of the year there won't be so many yarn shows on, or certainly I won't be going to them. So yeah, I'm hoping I'll get the same sort of fringe benefit, and we'll be able to save on yarn purchasing. I have enough, so you know. I started doing this last year, so this is project pages. I'm literally just going to list all my crafty projects here, say when they've done, say when I've taken a picture of them, and then say when I've like shared it, so either on Instagram or talked about it on the podcast or something. So most of my knitting and crochet ones I keep in Ravelry, but as I start doing sewing, obviously those don't go on Ravelry, so I wanted a sort of central place just to keep a little track on them. So I've done a little cutout there just because save drawing that out twice, because it's exactly the same page. Again, this is something I've copied over from my journal last year. It's just some notes, garment making notes really, I've called it knitting notes. But yeah, just some sort of things I've gathered so far about when I make things that I want to keep in mind for next year. You know, for this year's making ahead. And then this is fairly blank page. I'm just going to jot down some just ideas of things I want to make. So if I see something or I have an idea that, I mean, this page could quickly be overrun with a million ideas, but sort of ones that I sort of seriously want to do, I thought I'd perhaps make a note in here. Again, another picture one. This is like literally a straight lift from what I put in my bullet journal last year. I just really liked the page. I liked the little plants and things, and I liked colouring in the books when I'd read a new book. So these are just new books, and I'm going to try to keep track of new films I've watched. We end up watching quite a lot of things again, you know, me and my daughter. We sort of quite like the comfort of going, oh yeah, we like that, let's shove that on again. But I want to make a bit of effort to expand old horizons and sort of watch some more new things. I mean, yeah, so that's something I wanted to do. So yeah, again, just colouring in and putting the titles of any new books I read and films I've watched. Just a little health page. I normally try to keep track of my weight. It started off when I was first bullet journaling as just I really want to lose some weight, I want to sort of diet and things and blah blah blah. So I was tracking it for that, and now I just do it more just for keeping an eye on it, you know. I'm not sort of going, oh my god, I really must lose weight, even though it would be nice to lose some weight. But it's just making sure things are in a kind of band that I can live with, basically. Maybe if it goes up to the sort of top of numbers I'm not happy with, I'll go, okay, I'll ease off a bit. And maybe if it goes too low, you know. Well, to be honest, that's never come up, so I don't know what happens in that scenario. And then this, basically, I quite like the idea of using these little pinned on Polaroids. So I kind of drew out this page, and I wanted it to be related somehow to some kind of health issue. So I liked having a sort of connected thing on double, you know, on the double page. So I wasn't quite 100% sure what I was going to track in here. At first I was going to track like meditating. I tried to meditate each day, so I was going to track that, but I think I might track my activity rings. So I've got an Apple Watch, and because of my back, I've been like making sure I don't sit too long. I've been standing up and making sure I go for walks and things. So I've been sort of making sure I feel, you know, try and hit all those little goals on my watch. So I think I might do that and just keep track of how often I've done that. Hopefully it'll inspire me to sort of keep it up well, but we'll see. Oh, so this is a news spread for me. I've seen a lot of people do these on Instagram where they keep track of their numbers or what posts they're going to do and things. I've never really bothered with that before. I don't really plan out my posts. I just, if I've got something to share, I'll share it. If I haven't, I won't. And then my numbers, again, yeah, it's nice to sort of see, but I don't really, you know, what can you do? I'm not going to jump through all the hoops and do all the, oh, you must do reels now because that's what Instagram says. I can't be doing with it. I just do what I do, and if people come, that's great, and people go, well, that's fine also. So I've never really felt any need to sort of keep track of my numbers, but on the other hand, I am hopefully in the region of the 50 number, and I thought that's quite a nice round number, so I might shove it in for that. Not that I'm worried about how quickly that happens. It may not even happen this year. Don't really care, but I just thought I quite like the idea of the page to colour in, and yeah, I just thought I would. So then again, I wanted something related on this side, and I wasn't really sure what to do, and I'm still not really. Don't know how much I'll bother with this, but I'm literally just going to keep track of how many posts I do each month. Not for any reason, not because I want to hit any particular goal, but I just thought I would. And it gives me something to put on that page. So that's the end of my sort of collections, as bullet journals call it, or my sort of things that will sort of cover the whole year. And then I sort of leave myself a few pages in case I think of anything else that I want to pop in there or keep track of or remember. And then I start my monthly pages. So for January, I've gone with this sort of flowers in an envelope type theme. I'm trying to use my washi tape more, so you'll sort of see those have popped up. She says picking pages that haven't got any washi tape on at all. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of pop it on sort of some pages because I've got loads of washi tape and I keep meaning to use it. And I've gone with slightly different ones for January. So I'm going to try and sort of incorporate some washi tapes in each month. I'm just going to keep some of my dates covered, so there's some personal bits and bobs in there. So this is very much my standard layout because I couldn't really be bothered to you know, I'd used all my creative energies up on the yearly stuff. I didn't have anything new particularly to add to the monthly ones, although I do want to mix it up as I go through the year. So this is normally what I do as a matter of course. I have the dates on one side, goals on the other. I've tried to sort of fancy it up again a little bit more, bring in the washi tape and things. Not many goals this month because I don't expect to achieve much this month, really. Not in the, you know, worky sense anyway. So this is my monthly tracker. It's kind of like a health thing. So I'd like keep track of my mood, just a few things about, you know, going for a walk, doing my stretches, eating well, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, keep track of those on there. Again, that's very much a standard format. You see, like once you start searching bullet journals or looking on Pinterest for inspiration, you'll see hundreds of these sort of ways to track this kind of thing. People like to track like their meditation, how much water they drink, how much sleep they get, how much studying they're doing, you know, their period cycle, their, you know, you name it, their workout regimens, you name it, you can track it, and sometimes people like to. Just a things to do page, quite like this one. Quite thought this paper coming out of the envelope. Again, not my idea, stuff I've seen there somewhere, but I thought it turned out quite cute. And then this one, I used to do this. I didn't do this last year in my bullet journals, and I used to do it, and I think it helps. Again, less so at the minute because I'm feeling less, I must be productive and get things done. but the general theory of it I like. So at the beginning you pop your goals in, and at the end you want to say, well, did I meet those goals? And if I, because I think it gives you an opportunity to go, oh, I didn't, okay, next year I'll make, and next month, oh, I'll make a bit more effort, or I'll plan it in better, or whatever. Or if you keep sort of consistently popping it down as a goal and you keep not doing it, you've got to sort of say to yourself, well, why am I not making time to do that then? Do I actually really want to do that? You know, like I might keep putting down things like, I really want to learn how my camera works better. And I sort of make a little bit of effort towards it, and then I just sort of don't really, because I don't have time. And I thought, just stop putting this down as a goal. You know what you know. If you desperately need to find something out, you'll look it up. But you're obviously not making time for it. You clearly can't be that bothered about it. So yeah, so I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to see like how many times I closed my watch thing, so I can put it over on my other tracker. How many steps I've walked. Not sure how bothered I am about that, but I thought I'd pop it in. How many yards I used this month for my other tracker, how many days of good mood I had, and then just sort of I want to look back at my pages, because like I was saying, I want to change some things up. So I want to say what worked about my pages, what didn't work. This is a very like worky, what's the word, corporate thing, isn't it? What worked, what didn't work, what would you change? So I'm sure many of you are familiar with that idea. So, but I'm just going to make a note in the sense of my bullet journal. What did I like? What did I not like? What needs changing, which is pretty much the same thing, isn't it? And then what ideas that I might do for next time. So yeah, again, probably pretty much pointless as far as I'm concerned from a productivity point of view for January, but I just quite liked, again, saw this kind of ideas with the arrows popping out everywhere, and I just thought it looked kind of pretty. So that's all my pages for January, and I have all my bullet journal ahead. Well, there are a couple of other quick pages I will show you. So at the back, I've just done a quick grid spacing, so that's just marking off like how many dots there are and like where's good places, so if you want 2 columns where the mark is, if you want to break it down into 3 and break it down into 4, it's kind of handy, like when you do these initial setups, it can be quite handy. And again, the same vertically, and then I've just done one that sort of goes across a double spread. It can be useful to refer to. And then I've got one which is just making a note of the colours and things I use to do my pages at the beginning. Like I was saying, I might sort of go, oh, actually, I've thought of another page I want to add. So I just wanted to remember which colours I'd used and things to create my little theme. So I've made a note of those in there. And then I also got some really fabulous Crayola super tips, I think they're called, just felt pens really. Look at that, there was 100 of them in the box. It was another Christmas present, but I just wanted to like do this for fun really, just to see test out all the colours, see how they looked, and yeah, it was just a kind of big kid moment. I sat and did this yesterday. It was a bit of a pain in the bum drawing all the hexagons out, I can't lie, but colouring it in, me and my daughter sorted them all into a kind of rainbow colour, and then I just worked my way around the rainbow. But it was quite fun just doing some simplistic colouring in. But yeah, I just find it a very visually pleasing page really. Probably not really that useful, but like I say, most of my bullet journal is sort of about making some time to be creative. It's relaxing, and I just get so absorbed into it. It's kind of like a, what's the word, mindfulness thing for me. It's become just this sort of time where I'm literally not thinking about anything else when I'm doing this. I'm totally absorbed in creating my little pages, and that's almost become the most important aspect of it to me. But that's up to you to decide, because it can be whatever you want it to be. That's the whole point of it. It's whatever works for you is what your bullet journal should be. But that's what's working for me. Okay, I hope that was of some vague interest to those of you who were asking, and I'm hoping to record a podcast soon. Fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll see you soon.